Alright, how's it going? I'm that ginger photographer. Welcome to my channel. So this is like a really quick video, a couple of minutes, just about my first time using the Canon R6. So the reason I took it out at night is I absolutely love street photography, although I've never actually tried it. I just love looking at street photography pictures. You guys that do it, you do it amazing. Having the confidence as well to go out there and do it. I'm like a bit nervous about shoving a camera in a stranger's face, but you guys that do it, you do it so well. So I thought I'd give the Canon R6 a run out at night time, see what the focusing was like, see what the controls were like, see what the ISO was like with the grain and things. And I'm really happy. This was the first time I'd had it out in the dark and I'm really impressed. I've got some footage that I'll probably be overlaying on this. It might be on now, it might not be on now. It's like a chest cam because it looked cool, so I thought I'd give that a go. This is my first time having a mirrorless camera. I've always been with DSLR, so looking through that shutter and seeing a digital display is still taking a little bit of getting used to. Other than that though, it's like a lovely camera to use. For the purpose of this video, I used it with the screen display on. So I've got the chest cam on and you can see the pictures as I'm taking them. And it's also my first time having a cool flippy screen on the side. I would be showing you the camera here as I was talking about it, but I'm currently recording on it. You were using it at the minute, so forgive me for that. So last night it was about 10:30 p.m. and it just finished snowing and the skies just suddenly cleared. The stars were out, they were amazing. So I thought this is a perfect opportunity to go and get some pictures outside because it's probably going to be a little bit clearer, nice pictures. Also because it's cold, might be a little bit quieter, might not get mugged. So it was win-win. So where I live, there's not a great deal to photograph at the minute. It's not really a scenic place. So I just went down the river, which is about a 10-minute drive, and there's a cool bridge on there. And I went and took some pictures down there near the Infinity Bridge. It's one of those landmarks where it's like, if you haven't photographed it, are you even a photographer, bro? So I thought I'd head down there and I spent about half an hour till about 11 p.m. and got some pictures at night time. For this video, all the pictures were took on the 50mm 1.2. I had the lens adapter on there. It's not an R lens, so I had the adapter on the camera. It's quite weird photographing on your own at night, won't lie. Didn't really enjoy it. It'd been nice to have someone there with me, bit of support, a bit of backup. If anybody had came towards me, you wouldn't have seen me for dust. This is the thing about street photography, that I admire the people that do it, because it's just, if there's groups of people or there's people coming towards you on a night time like this, it's not nice. You're holding about $5 worth of gear, and if somebody's going to mug you and take that off you. So my thoughts at first on the Canon R6 is it's still taking a lot of getting used to. I'm still using the Canon 5D Mark IV, which is obviously DSLR. So when you are looking through the camera, you're seeing exactly what's there through a mirror. So it is taking a bit of getting used to on the R6 for that digital viewfinder, especially when you're moving fast like this and there is a bit of lag, there is a bit of delay, not massively, but definitely noticeable. Definitely noticeable when you're coming from a DSLR to a mirrorless camera. You can definitely see the lag, or whatever you want to call it. It kind of goes blurry if you move fast. Obviously you don't get that with a DSLR because you are just looking at the real world. You're looking at real life basically. Other than that, everything was pretty much great. The dials took a tiny bit of getting used to. Obviously there's not an ISO button on the top now like there is on a DSLR. It's an actual dial that you turn. That took some getting used to. Other than that though, I absolutely love the camera. It's so small and comfortable. And to be honest, it's a hell of a difference from holding that heavy DSLR all the time. So really happy, really like using it. And like I said, I've never had a flippy out screen before, so I didn't actually flip it out, but being able to use that screen and being able to see in the viewfinder the photo that you're going to be taking is great, because as you adjust the settings, it changes the picture in the viewfinder, so you can see exactly what the results are going to be before you've even taken the picture, which is a real bonus, because with a DSLR you don't get that. You look through it, it could be underexposed, it could be overexposed, you won't know. With this, it's adjusting the display accordingly, so you can see if your picture's right or not before you've even taken it. One thing I will say, you might be able to see in the footage, is because I'm not used to back button focusing, when I was trying to take some of these pictures, it wasn't focusing on what I wanted it to focus on. So I'd set up the scene on the camera, as you can see from the footage, and then I'd press it to focus, and I'd want it to focus on, say, the entire bridge, but it'd just focus on something off to the right, or it'd focus on the floor, and I just couldn't get it to focus where I wanted it to focus sometimes. I tried pressing the display on the back and tried to select what I wanted to focus, but all that done was it took the picture, so that must be another way of releasing the shutter, is to press the screen. So I'm going to change it to back button focus if it can be done on the R6. Hopefully that'll get me more used to photographing how I'm used to photographing, rather than just hoping that it focuses on what I want it to focus on. I'll be able to set the focus myself. I've got a video about back button focusing if you want to check that out, or if it's here, wherever it is, I'll put it in here somewhere. So as time went on, about 15-20 minutes in, I started leaning on a railing that was there and just done a couple of long exposures, and I started to realise how nice this camera was actually to use. It was much lighter, it was simpler, the display was great, and I think really it probably isn't, but it seemed like a simpler camera to use. I'm not saying that it is, I'm not saying that it's definitely better or anything like that, but compared to a DSLR, it just seemed that everything was at hand that you needed to be there. I don't know why I thought that, because the 5D Mark IV obviously has everything that this camera has, but it just seemed, I don't know if it was the ISO wheel, rather than having to press the button and turn till you get it, and you just turned it with your thumb instead. Maybe that's all there was to it, but it just seemed like a simpler camera to use, and it seemed like a nicer camera to use, and I really did enjoy using it. And considering it was so dark, it was picking up focus great. I know sometimes it wasn't focusing on things that I wanted it to focus on, as daft as that sounds. Even though it was pitch black, some of the ropes that it was focusing on I couldn't even see in the camera, but it was focusing on them. So it was a great camera to use. Maybe just that back button focus will improve it for me. How many times did I say focus there? 100 cool points to the winner. In this last picture that I'll show here now, I was really impressed with this picture. This is handheld, this is at 1/4 of a second, and this picked up stars that I couldn't even see with my naked eye. So for 1/4 of a second exposure there's not a lot of grain, considering I think the ISO is on 8000. I'm not actually looking at the picture or the details here, I'm just reeling it off my head because I think I remember that. So this picture picked up the stars nice, and it was really nice file to edit. So after this picture, this is when I decided to call it a day. I think half an hour spent photographing bridges is probably half an hour too much, in all honesty. So next time it will be street photography, which I'm really looking forward to. I do think I might do that with a group of people, or maybe at least one other person, just to feel safer, in all honesty. I really didn't enjoy going out on my own in the dark at 10:30 at night at really quiet places. So my overall thoughts on taking it out in the dark for the first time was, it is a lovely camera to hold. It's much lighter, it's much nicer, it's really nice having that back display. I know the DSLRs have it, I know the 5D Mark IV has it, but it just seems a lot better on this. I don't know why, but I just think it does seem a lot better on this, and I really did enjoy it, and I really am looking forward to using it for some street photography with that digital display on the back. I think it's going to be great. Again, I do think the focusing needs looking into. I'm going to change that to back button focus if it can be done. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and thank you so much. Love you, bye.